The Dubfeat Variety Hour! The Dubfeat Variety Hour! The Dubfeat Variety Hour! The Dubfeat Variety Hour.
Welcome back to another Dubfeat Variety Hour podcast, the Doughnut special. This would be technically part 2. Part 1 was more of a trial error, I would say, but this would be the follow-up to that, where we've designated a breakdown and explanation and full rubric to how we're going to dissect some donuts.
Exactly. The first part was like a 0.5.
Yes.
Part 0.5.
But it was the basis to what would come that is now the point that we've arrived at currently. So.
Exactly, which took us a long time to get here, but I'm happy to be here.
Yes, which if you're wondering who that is Ashlyn, the person that was in the previous Doughnut podcast, and we will be dissecting our travels with donuts.
It's been a real trip, so I'm excited.
Literally. Let's see. So what was the first donut spot we went to? We ended up going to Dunwell, correct?
Yep, Dunwell was the first one.
Which we've gone to, I've lost count of how many times at this point.
So we are today we visited our 9th donut spot.
Yes.
So Dunwell, shout out to Dunwell for getting us into this mess.
Yes, and they came in hitting strong and hitting heavy because we went in there and they had a variety that was awesome. And they also had a Yoda donut because it was timed at the same time Mandalorian had just come out. So that was another high selling point for us to be engulfed in the donut game. And now we're in too deep like the mob. So
there's no escaping this now.
There's no turning back. Just when we thought we were out, pull this back in.
There's more. There's always more.
And it's crazy too, actually, just to think about that. We made a bingo card that has all our donut spots, which I forget how many spots on there. I actually have it here. So
there's a lot.
Let's count it real quick. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have, I can't do 25 spots, right?
Yeah.
5 times 5. Is that the correct math? Am I doing?
Yep.
Yeah. So we have 25 spots of donut spots to visit. We visited approximately 9 thus far. And there's still more donut spots popping up throughout New York City. So the list is never ending, and it's a game that we probably will be doing for decades now. You know?
And this was like a pandemic passion project, if you will.
We were more like kind of joking about it. It's like, imagine how we should like check out every donut spot, and then next thing you know, you drafted up a bingo card. Then I printed out the said bingo card, and then we pretty much hit the ground running. Yeah, so
it's stamps and all. We are very official.
All the stamps are different variations of donuts, or as my favorite one here is oh wait, no, it's not here. I think that's sitting on my shelf. Anyways, it's the donut, and it's a coffee, and it's like a buddy cop duo, which I feel like if we sell the rights to the donut idea for this podcast, we should turn it into an animated series,
Yes.
So that's a work in progress for today.
We got big dreams here. We got it. We'll make it happen.
Baby steps, of course. Baby steps. But we're getting there.
We're doing great.
So where should we kick this off at? We should start with our Dunwell experience.
Yeah, let's dive into Dunwell.
Okay, sounds good. So you go right ahead. I will follow suit because I vaguely remember what I got that day, but I think I have some backing here in my Instagram story.
Okay, so Dunwell, first of all, it's located East Williamsburg. Is that what you would consider?
Yeah, I would say so. It's right off of the L train on the Montrose station.
Yep.
I believe that's Bushwick and Montrose.
Yes.
In that vicinity. Yeah.
It's Bushwick Ave and Montrose. So it's nice. The one thing, so we did start this during the pandemic, which limited our options for indoor dining, which made it a little bit creative because we haven't really experienced any place that we've been able to sit inside and fully experience an indoor dining situation.
No, I don't think we've had an indoor donut experience yet.
Like even now, like Peter Pan.
Other than taking donuts to go and like chilling out like here or
in a park or something.
In a park, yeah, exactly.
So that said, all of these places are still evaluated based on, the whole experience, even given that we can't sit inside and enjoy indoor dining. But Dunwell I like the aesthetic on the inside.
Yes.
There's a lot of photos of dogs. They have that dog wall. That's a big plus for me. You remember that?
Vaguely remember the dog wall.
That was like a highlight for me. I was like, I'm sold.
Well, here's where for me, I went there a long time ago, and I go there. I mean, I've been a few times, and every time I go there, I look for one thing, and it's a Simpsons replica of a scene from The Simpsons where Homer's in hell, and he's being force-fed donuts, and they have the box and the whole the whole toy sitting on the shelf. So every time I go there, it's like narrow blinders like a horse. I see that, and that's the only thing I see. So
that's all you
that's
care
all
about.
exactly.
Like, Simpsons, that's it.
Simpsons, and that's exactly.
Fair. But so I think the aesthetic in there is really great. It's a vegan spot, which is, I'm not vegan, neither are you, but I enjoy it because the donuts don't taste like you would, like you wouldn't expect them to be vegan. I think if you were to feed them to somebody, they wouldn't be like, this is suspiciously vegan.
I brought, a long time ago, I brought Dunwell Donuts home to my sister's place, and I think previously I had brought Dunkin' Donuts or something or the other, but I do remember whatever donuts I brought that were regular ones, those were very picked at and not fully eaten. When I brought the Dunwell ones home, they were like devoured and eaten in an instant. So
yeah,
delicious donuts.
Yeah, they're very top tier, I would say.
For sure.
And so definitely the Yoda donut. That's what I had.
Yes.
It was pistachio and coconut, I think, which is very good flavor combination.
Yeah.
And what else? I feel like there was another donut involved in that trip.
I think we split a donut. I pulled up what I had, and I think it was what is it? I have it here. It looks like a cookies and cream. Cookies and cream donut. And I remember it was good because the only beef that I've ever had with Dunwell's donuts is you kind of taste the base flavors. Mm-hmm. So I think they use a lot of honey or something. And some donuts have that sort of overcasted flavor. Like if the flavor isn't profound enough, like maple or something like that, you kind of just get like a honey taste. Mm-hmm. But the cookies and cream donut, I remember that was like, it was flavorful. It tasted like Oreo cookie in a sense, and it was delightful.
Yeah, and now that you're saying that, I remember I got one that was similar. It wasn't cookies and cream. It was like a yeast donut with the chocolate frosting, but then there was Oreos on top. I don't know.
Yes.
It wasn't cookies and cream. They called it something different.
Okay.
But I remember like that was the first time I'd had a donut in years, probably, because I'm like, oh, I don't like like I remember a few years or a couple years ago, and I was gonna go on a date with this person, and they were like, oh yeah, let's get donuts, and I was like, actually, I don't really like donuts.
Not a fan. Donuts
I'm
are
actually not really my favorite. So anyway, I had
how the times have changed.
Now look at me now. Can't stop me. So that was the first donut I had in like years, and I was like, wow, what am I doing with my life? Like, I need to be enjoying donuts.
Donuts need to be eaten on a regular basis at this point. Yes, agreed.
So thanks, Dunwell.
Yeah,
you've
triggered
to this.
You've triggered a major donut love that has continued on.
Anything else notable for Dunwell, or should we move to our next spot?
I mean, just a side note, it doesn't really have to do with the donuts, but their coffee is always on point, and as well as their tea. Because I remember we went a couple times, and I've had the cold brew there, and it's decent. Yeah. And another time, either myself or you were not in the mood for like a stab in the heart kick in the cold brew groin. So we opted for like green tea or something. Yeah. And that shit was good.
Very good. It's it's the perfect amount of caffeine without being like sending your body into like
caffeinated shock.
Yeah, exactly. So I love Dunwell donuts, and I feel like that's definitely it's been revisited for us anyway, and I feel like I'll continue to go there. It's also close to me, so I'm a little bit biased, I guess, but
yeah, I mean it's close to me as well. I think my thing with it is it's just an easy spot to just get to and go to. So no matter what, even though we have a list of many places to go to, and there's a few like Cousins Dozens where we need to eventually schlep to. The fact that it's just right there, and we know what they have. Their options are always awesome, and they rotate some of their options. They do seasonal donuts. it's always a great trip to go there because their donuts are awesome. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not only that, the people who work there are great, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say that too when I was talking about. I got caught up in talking about their coffee and their tea, so I completely forgot about the people. But everybody in there has always been more than kind and super chill, super nice.
Yeah, good
So,
people. Good people.
Agreed.
Good experience. And to be fair, like where I live, Doughnut Plant is actually way closer than Dunwell to me,
Yes.
and I would
Mhm.
prefer Dunwell over Doughnut Plant.
And you could literally like walk 2 blocks or something like that. Very close
it's like
to get
a
to.
few blocks for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's
That's
That's my
Dunwell in a
take.
nutshell, I'd
Yeah.
say. If you can rate them, should we do a donut scale? Like
A donut scale.
A 1 through something here? I don't know.
like 0 to 5 sprinkles, or
I'm trying to think of the equivalent of what would be the equivalent to rate a donut. One out of a dozen. 1 out of
half dozen.
See, I would say 1 out of half dozen sounds. It doesn't sound cool, but it's like
No.
out of 6 donuts makes sense.
Yeah.
We could do 1 out of 6 donuts. That works.
Okay. How
Yeah.
many holes do you give this donut?
That works
I'm
too.
just kidding.
I'd say 1 out of 6 donuts is a good general overall rubric. I think.
Okay, you're saying like how would you rate this donut spot? 1
Yeah.
to 6
Mhm.
donuts. Okay, I thought you were giving Dunwell a 1 out of 6, and I was like,
Oh
bro.
no. I
We
think I meant to
just-
say 0 through 6, and my brain just said
No,
1.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I'm only 1 Earl Grey, and I think I need 1 more. That's the problem.
Hold on, it's noon. Do we need like an IPA or something?
Oh, you just reminded me. I have pumpkin beer in my fridge. So,
Oh shit.
so if you want a pumpkin beer, intermission will take a pumpkin
Okay,
pumpkin
alright.
beer break.
Pumpkin. We've got a pumpkin candle.
Yes.
Did we have a? We didn't have a pumpkin donut.
We didn't get a pumpkin donut, but we both got apple cider variations of donuts from a spot, Peter Pan Donuts, but we will not dive into them too much because we'll save that for the end of this.
You get a little chewing
You get
donut
Yes,
ASMR.
I'll turn up the mics just enough so you get an obnoxious chewing so you guys want to tune out. So,
Turn it up. Blast this into your ears.
exactly.
Yeah. So, okay. So after we visited Dunwell,
Mm-hmm.
by the way, Dunwell was our first spot. We went there in, I don't know the month of the first trip, but when we went to get the Yoda donut, which
Yeah.
was kind of like our first plunge into what we're doing
Our
now.
our first stamp, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was in November of 2020,
Yes.
the 20th to be exact,
Got it.
because
got
I'm
it.
a psycho.
Oh yeah, so that, but it was right before Thanksgiving, so that does check out. Yes.
Yeah. We were, I remember, and we were talking about politics during that. We were like,
Yes, we were.
gearing up for family politics discussions.
Because it was pre-Thanksgiving, so we knew what the topic of discussion for everybody and anybody was during the election period of 2020, which was just a shit show.
Scary time.
Yeah.
Very unprecedented.
Ooh, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
So another thing that's
You're
unprecedented.
unprecedented. Sorry, I had to throw in one.
I'm feeling triggered. All right. So next we went to Doughnut Plant, and that was.
Before we jump there,
Oh yes.
our scale.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Let's scale it. Okay.
So out of 6 donuts, out of a half dozen donuts,
This rating it gives me a little bit of anxiety.
I'm almost feeling chipper enough to give it maybe a whole 6 donuts.
I was feeling at
Just-
least 5 3/4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe 5. So we'll split the difference. Let's just say 5.5
Okay.
out
Yeah.
of 6 donuts.
5.5 out of 6 donuts.
Yeah, I think
is-
that's a fair, because they've been consistent. They've
Mm-hmm.
been great. Their donuts have always been good, and everything about it is good. And it's appealing enough inside that it's photogenic and it's awesome to go to.
Yeah,
So,
definitely very Insta worthy. So you could
100%.
get a good photo there.
100%. 5.5 final rating.
5.5. Done. All right. Now that now we've gone through Dunwell. That was our first. We just dove right into that with a 5.5. Now we went to Doughnut Plant,
Donut Plant.
and that was in December. So almost a month later.
So Donut Plant, right? This is the
Yeah.
one that you live near, correct?
Yes, and we did go to the Brooklyn one.
Okay. So we didn't go initially to the one that you live near now, right? Or did we?
We did.
We did?
I think we did, right?
I believe so. I know there's a few locations, that's why. So
Yeah, it's the one. So the one I live near is Bedford Ave.
Actually, yes, I do remember us meeting up there at some point.
We definitely did because I remember being in Brooklyn, and this is when I lived in Sunset Park at the time. So
Yes.
it was still kind of a trip.
It was a trek, and I remember being half dead by the time I got there.
Yeah.
I was like in zombie mode, and I'm pretty sure I walked there, and I was just like, yeah, it's coffee time.
Yeah,
But,
and it was still pretty cold outside, if I do remember
yes,
correctly.
yes. We've paired donuts and cold and surprisingly iced coffee more often in the cold than other.
I haven't had a hot coffee at any of these donut spots, and we've been doing
I've noted
this,
that. I've noted that.
Yeah. I like how I'm like, oh yeah, it was pretty cold. I think it was like fucking middle of December. Like, yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, I think the highs that day was maybe 40 degrees.
Just a little
I'll
chilly.
have an iced coffee with extra ice, please.
This is too warm for me. So yeah, Donut Plant is nice too. I don't know why I keep bringing the vegan thing up because I'm not vegan, but I do enjoy some good vegan options.
Oh, for sure, same.
So Dunwell has the vegan options. Dunwell is totally vegan, right?
Yeah, 100% vegan. Everything is vegan in there, so there's no non-vegan option in there.
Yeah, so
I think
Donut
including
Plant.
all their drinks and stuff. Like they don't have. I don't believe they have dairy. All their cappuccinos and lattes are also all all vegan. Yeah.
Side note: I have become an oat milk person,
Oh,
and
yeah?
I don't know if I feel like. I mean, now I'm just like, am I better than everybody else?
I think that's a yes. Obviously.
Like, I'm like every time I order oat milk, I'm like.
Well,
I think I'm just...
may I refer back to the thing I saw earlier today? Death to hipsters. That's the only thing I'm going to add to your oat milk mentioning.
Fair. I deserve it.
No, but for real, I think 90% of the time that's all I drink. I only recently alternated between that and almond milk, but I know I'm sound so pretentious here. I don't often drink almond milk anymore because it ruins the world, and I just don't want the world to be ruined anymore.
Sustainable.
So, trying to sustain things.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I think
with my
that...
McDonald's wrapper that I just threw on the floor as I was walking home. But
also, if you get a plastic coffee cup with a paper straw, you are a shitty person.
which we have done almost.
we are terrible people. It's fine.
We're terrible. But
I'm just like, no, I think I'm saving the world when I get a paper straw. I'm like, no, I'm going to be sustainable and save the planet without. Meanwhile, I have my plastic cup.
And you're chewing on a straw that has melted into the drink.
Right. Yeah. At that point, it's just fuck the oat milk. I have a paper straw. Yeah. So Donut Plant, some vegan options, which are great. I remember I actually think this is one of my favorite donuts out of all the spots that we've been to. It was shaped like a snowman. And
yes, I do remember that donut.
Yeah, it was a coconut donut. So it was a yeast donut, and it was coated in like a coconut cream.
Yes.
But then also it had coconut cream filling.
See, I don't remember what I had, but I remember being jealous of the donut that you had. And especially after you were eating it and you were explaining all the details about it, I'm like, God damn, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So.
I don't remember what you had either. But I do remember the snowman. That was one of my favorites. And I've been there. Actually, shout out to the Donut Plant because they also had a pink triangle donut during Pride Month.
Yes, they did.
Which I had that because we love a good gay donut. It was fantastic. And then they also have these, I don't know if they're doing it now, but occasionally they'll do the mini donuts, which probably is one of my favorite things as well.
So I remember they did the mini donuts around Easter, and they were doing like a bundle that you can buy, and it was just one of those things where I was like, I believe if I recall correctly, I might have been going away to visit family for Easter, but I don't recall. Either way, I was trying to come up with like the right time to maybe pre-order them or pick them up, and then I just either overslept or ran out of time or they sold out. But they had like the pastel colors for the donuts, so they just look so damn cool, and they just look tasty. And I didn't pull the trigger on getting them in the right time. So
fair.
But
so you haven't
to
tried the mini donuts yet?
I have not. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I tried them. I brought them into work for whatever reason, whatever excuse I had to bring donuts in.
I remember you sharing photos of them, and I was like, "Damn, those look good."
They were very good. I couldn't, and also like something about the size of them, I think, just makes the taste so good because it's perfectly like moist in the center,
right?
Whereas some other donuts tend to get a little bit dry.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, they were perfect, and I think that I I would get them a lot more if they had them all the time.
If they did them more, yeah.
Which I think they do have, like, sometimes they have, like, smaller donuts on the top rack, but
okay,
it's always something different. It's always they're up there. Donut Plant is up there with one of my favorites too.
Oh, for sure.
Think.
I was actually just gonna say, when you mentioned how they have them displayed, they have it very much like I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like you go into like a shoe store and they have like the primary types of shoes that they're trying to like showcase.
Yeah.
It's more like a showcase setup of the donut variety, and then they have them like in the back or wherever they grab them. So they have like the, like the whatever amount of donuts. I'd say let's say 10. They have like 10 different ones, and they're just displayed in this nice little presentable showcase.
It's like walking into a piece of art.
Yes.
And that's another thing I really like, is that they don't have a lot of different options. So it's like not overwhelming, but there's like something for everybody, but it's also not like, wow, there's so many options here, I don't know what to choose,
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking at the donuts that they have there, and I want to say I had the vanilla bean.
Does
that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds
I'm not
right.
sure, because I don't think I had coconut cream, because I remember not wanting to get coconut because you had gotten a coconut one with the snowman.
Yeah.
But I believe that's what I had, because everything else does not look familiar to me at this moment in time.
I think it was the vanilla bean, now that you say that. Oh, we're liars. We indoor dined at Doughnut Plant.
Oh, snap. We did. That was actually... Okay, so yeah, that was right when you could sit down. And I remember we had like a sort of weird standoff with the staff there. Not a standoff, but we like had that weird like, can we actually sit down or do we have to leave? Like, what do we do? And they're like, yeah, you guys could sit down. It's fine. I'm like... Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah,
so
it was awkward because it was like one of the first places that we went to. That was like.
That was probably like one of the first places I sat down in general.
Same.
Like
that's what I mean. Like
in the midst of the pandemic. So.
And this was in December, so.
Oh wow! Yeah.
We were pretty deep in at that point.
Risking it all for some donuts.
Yeah. Gotta get the D for donuts. We want to edit that out.
Yeah, definitely. That is definitely not being edited out.
I don't know if we've discussed this. Were we doing edits?
That's actually going to be the promo. So like I like to cut little parts of the podcast, and that's going to be the piece that I put online for people to entice them to listen to it. So
you think it'll work? I think it'll work.
Oh, for sure. D for donut.
Come get the D. All right.
I think this brings up another point. I feel like we should be the slogan people for half of these donut spots.
We really should.
Anytime we come together and have some of these donuts, we end up with these random sayings like that one, for example. That's like, why are you guys not using this?
Yeah.
Sex sells. D,
also,
get the D.
Yeah, get the D. You heard it here first, folks. Probably plenty of other places. This is not original at all. But
no, but we're still selling it.
We're selling it. And
marketing it as our own idea. Okay.
What if we made an OnlyFans, but for like donuts? Donlyfans.
I like it. I like it a lot.
We can't sleep on this, man. We gotta.
I think the rates, like the price for it, should be like the price of like a dozen donuts.
Yeah.
And then like how like on OnlyFans people could send like their lingerie and like worn panties and shit. We'll send them a donut.
Okay, I'll step on the donut a couple of times. I'll step on the donut. I'll chew a little bit of it.
There's going to be a bite in that donut. It's going to be smushed. And I'm going to send you the ASMR of me chewing the donut. That'll be the package deal. That'll be like one of the things you unlock on the OnlyFans page. I like it. I think we're onto something here.
We are. Registered dietitian by day, donut slut by night. I'm here for it. So yeah, Doughnut Plant was good. Yeah,
talk about a great segue. Anyways, back to Doughnut Plant.
Yeah, that's all I had to say.
Foot on that damn donuts.
I cannot. Yeah, so that's all I had to say about that. I would say that's one of my it's up there. Tie with Done Well, I think.
Okay.
Would be a good.
Yeah, Doughnut Plant was great. I don't think we've had it yet, or maybe they were sold out when we went. But when I pulled up their menu and I saw that they have a carrot cake donut.
My God, I've been dying.
Have you had it yet?
No, I want. Shit. That's all I've been wanting.
So I'm assuming it's good because I feel like it must have always it either sells out or it's just like not there, or we've gone with another option. I doubt we would have gone with another option because it sounds like it's something we would have been like, oh, I'll take that, please.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's good because it's never there.
It's gotta be good.
Yeah.
hopefully they'll keep it. Maybe we can pay a visit next time. But we really have to crack down on these bingo spots because
Yes.
we're only halfway through and it's been almost a year. So
This is true. This is true.
yeah. Yeah. So any last thoughts, or should we rate this place?
I think it's good for a rating. The only added notion I guess I will say is we definitely got some coffee there. I feel like the coffee's just the additional add-on that I've been throwing in here, but their coffee was decent.
Yeah, it was
pretty solid.
pretty
I
good.
don't remember anything bad about it.
Yeah,
It did the job. It caffeinated me,
Yeah,
and I believe they had cold brew, if I recall correctly. So
definitely have cold brew.
Yeah.
I don't really have any complaints about this place. I would say in terms of like the people who work there, usually the vibe when I go in is not as welcoming as Done Well, unfortunately.
agreed. Yeah,
But it's like,
but it not necessarily off-putting. It's more
No.
just like, hey, we're here to sell donuts. All right, see ya. You know?
yeah, which is actually kind of I can appreciate that,
Yeah.
you know?
It's
so,
1, 2, 3. Get your donuts. See ya. You know.
it's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm busy.
Even though they let us stay and sit down in the lobby.
They did,
so.
but like, get the fuck out, but also you can stay if
but we
you
get
want.
the point. Yeah, you could fucking stay. All right.
Yeah. All right. So I would say
It's another idea for a franchise too.
what?
Angry Donut Spot, where it's
Oh.
you just treat everybody like shit.
That's
It's
like
an idea that has been used.
Yeah, just not with donuts.
Just not with donuts.
right.
Yeah, take your fucking dozen and get out.
You're fucking. That should be a menu option.
Ooh.
A fucking,
fucking
dozen.
dozen.
And they have to say the fuck word when they're ordering, or else they
mhm.
get out. You know.
I agree.
All right.
Final
Make note of
summation.
that. I'm gonna say also 5.5 stars again. I
Okay.
mean, we're not doing stars. Donuts.
5.5
5.5 fucking donuts.
fucking donuts. I would go probably 5 flat.
Oh.
So that would be 5.3.
Okay.
In that, I guess, sort of splitting the difference there.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess for the customer service aspect, even though it doesn't negate it that much, I feel like it's kind of small and quaint. It's not as flashy and cool looking as Done Well,
Right.
but it is nice. So I'd say it still gets a good 5. So
Yeah. Okay. So we settle on a 5.3 donuts.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
5.
Love it.
5 donuts and a few sprinkles. 5.3.
So after our trip to Donut Plant, we
Mm-hmm.
visited the Donut Pub.
The Donut Pub.
That one was near Union Square.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So this was
Which I also noticed because I've been to the city a few times in that semi area, and apparently there's a few donut pubs. It's another one that there's like multiple locations, kind of like Donut Plant.
yeah,
So you walk a couple blocks this way or that way, and they're like, I guess there's a handful of them, and I guess that's the Lower East Side, or no, further up from the Lower East Side. That's like, I don't know the technical. Let's just go with it. There's plenty in the scattered region of Union Square.
Yeah, we're gonna
vicinity.
offend somebody who lives
Yeah.
in the Lower East Side now. So
Yeah. And I don't want to start doing those the abbreviations and whatnot, because then people will get even more mad because I don't know any of them.
No, me either. And actually, you know what? It's something that I don't know if we talked about this, but I'm like, is there a difference between Lower East Side and East Village? Because some people get very heated about
I know
this.
if you mention that to certain people, they will definitely say that there's a difference. But as of me, I mean, it's gonna sound terrible. It's like Manhattan's Manhattan,
Oh.
Yeah, crazy, right?
I mean, I feel like that's a little hurt.
That's
That's
crossing
a little,
a line, right?
A little hurtful.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. We're in Brooklyn anyway.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. We're in Williamsburg on the Bushwick border. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get it right. Thank you. So yeah, Donut Pub. We went there a short 11 days after we visited Donut Plant.
Ooh, we weren't playing.
We were, I think, we were on a very good, what do you call it? Projective?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not the word.
Projection.
Projection? No.
Trajectory.
Thank you.
Trajectory.
Donut Pub. What I really liked immediately, the aesthetic in there.
The trajectory. Sorry.
The refractory.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. Go. I can actually cut this part out. This
Okay,
is like,
all right. Well,
maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. So yeah, I really like, it's very retro in there. You walk in and you feel like you're in it's retro. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it has like a sort of 1950s vibe to it. I will say, and I said we wouldn't talk too much about Donut Peter Pan, and I feel like Peter Pan kind of looks similar to it, maybe a little smaller scale. Mm-hmm. But
it feels like
it packs this like I feel like if we were in a donut shop of the 1950s, that's probably what it looked like.
yeah, Peter Pan or Donut Plant. Donut Pub.
Donut
Sorry.
Pub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's also got like the big like neon signs and
Yes.
like the really really bright lights, which
Very
was nice.
flashy, and
Yeah.
as you mentioned, very photogenic, very social media friendly.
Yeah, that's a spot. Donut Pub is a spot where if you want to get a good photo of
Yeah.
a donut or even yourself, it's very aesthetically pleasing in there.
And I remember they had T-shirts and hats and merch related to the Donut Pub, which I was tempted, but I focused on donuts that day instead of venturing towards T-shirts and
Same,
memorabilia.
yeah. And
Very tempting, though.
they also have vegan options.
They did, yeah.
Mhm.
And
They have a lot.
They had a pretty wide variety of donuts. Like
They
they had
had
like
a
a
lot.
simply put, they had a shit ton of donuts because they had like mini cake donuts
Yeah.
towards the door. Then they had I don't remember if they had donut holes.
They did.
but I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
So, and then they had their general like assembly line, legit like of rows and rows and rows of a variety of different donuts, all of which were phenomenal looking and great.
Yeah, fantastic. That day I got the Fruity Pebble donut, which was like a yeast donut covered in fruity pebbles, and then there was some like vanilla cream on top, and I don't think maybe there was a little bit of cream in the middle. It was more of like a frosting-y cream, so it's very sweet, but it was good. It was very good.
I don't remember what I got because I'm pulling up my picture to backtrack here.
You got a blueberry cake donut.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, good memory.
Yeah. I don't remember. I don't know why I remembered that, but
Because for whatever reason, I took a picture of all the donuts, which looks great. It's on my gram, and it's just pictures of that, pictures of a cup covered in coffee,
right.
which I got a hot coffee that day. I remember that. Mm-hmm. And then it's just an aesthetically pleasing bingo card with the cup of coffee
Yep.
next to it.
Yep.
So, but yes, as you mentioned, the donut, the blueberry donut, it was a cake donut, and I feel like for blueberry donuts, you can't really do like a regular glazed blueberry donut or whatever that. It's got to be like a cake donut because
Yeah.
you get chunks of blueberry, and it packs such a better flavor, and it was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It looked very good.
Yeah.
I really liked this place, and I think that if we were to be able to sit inside, that would have even made it.
Yeah.
The whole experience.
That
even
was
better.
that was definitely one of the things I recall from there. It's like it had the space for seating and all that, so you could tell clearly like it during pre-COVID times it was like probably packed and set up, and people were chilling at the benches in the bar area and the actual. If I recall correctly, they were like the booth seats, right?
I think so.
Or am I fabricating that in my head because I've been watching too? I'm thinking of Soprano moments of them sitting in.
You know, so what is reality?
Get a fucking donut, all right?
I think from what I remember, I do remember the stools, right? There
Okay,
were
yeah.
stools. Possibly there were some booths.
Yeah, because I know they had. I remember they had like their seating area, but it was blocked off by their garbage cans and the napkin dispensers because
Yeah.
no seats till COVID.
No, see, still Durner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd take the bait. I said it. I'm like, wait, let's see. Down, bow, bow. Anyways.
Exactly. So, yeah. So there were so many options for donuts there. Really nice aesthetic on the inside. I don't remember having coffee unless I maybe got an iced coffee.
I believe
brew.
you got a cold brew because I ended up
Probably.
doing the hot coffee just because I needed something.
Or
no,
did
no.
I get a tea?
I kind of remember them being out of cold. I don't think they had iced coffee.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember being like, "Oh, I don't know if I should have caffeine. Should
Yeah.
we do it? Should we do it?"
Yes.
And then the
then
universe
we looked
decided.
at them and like they were like, "Do you guys have iced coffee?" And they were like, "We don't have that." And we're like, "Oh, I still needed caffeine for whatever reason."
Yeah.
which I clearly got.
So, and then I must have opted for an iced tea,
Yes,
as I typically do.
that sounds
Yeah,
about right.
yeah. And the location's not bad because it's just a short train trip from here into. But this is also I was living in Sunset Park, so again it was kind of a trip. But
Yeah.
from here, very quick from Williamsburg.
Yeah, it was probably maybe 20 minutes tops. I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was good.
worthy spot.
Any other? Oh, and what about the staff there? I feel like they were pretty chill too.
Yeah, they were chill.
Yeah. Still nothing
One-
compared to Dunwell, but
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. I feel like Dunwell has set the bar pretty high for staff awesomeness. Aside from darn donuts,
oh yeah, we'll get there.
But we're building there.
I mean, yeah, no, I feel like every time I go into Dunwell, I develop an emotional connection with whoever's working, and then
Word.
yeah,
Super sweet, super chill. super awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're not evaluating Dunwell. We just keep
No.
going back there.
You want to go to Dunwell later?
Hey, maybe we should.
Hey, we bought these donuts at Peter Pan. Can we exchange them for your donuts?
These are actually, we'll
blasphemy.
throw them away in front of your eyes.
We're just showing our support, man. That's all.
Yeah, we went to this place, but nah.
Nah, you guys are, we're loyal, all right?
Loyal. It didn't mean anything. Yeah, so that's Doughnut Pub.
Doughnut Pub.
Any last thoughts about that one?
I don't believe so. I just remember chilling out in Union Square Park eating them.
Yeah.
And they were good. Did I just get one donut? I feel like I got something else, but I don't remember.
I think it was just... Oh, did you get an old fashioned?
Probably.
I think you did.
About right.
I
think I doubled up on the cake donut notion, so...
I remember feeling like, I was like, oh, I got a very fruity donut, and you were very basic about it.
Yes, it's coming back to me.
Yeah. So,
and then I was like drowning in donut, and I was like profusely offering you at least half of the old fashioned because I got more than I needed.
Yeah. And I don't, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good time.
Yes.
All right, what would you rate this one? How many donuts do you give this donut?
I might go as high as 5.5 with this guy.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I felt the appeal of it, and I mean literally something as simple as their fluorescent bright lights.
Yeah.
Like it kind of drew you in a sense, so it really made the place pop.
Yeah.
So because of that, I was very into the whole vibe, the whole excess amount of donuts, and the donuts were delicious too. So
yeah, I would definitely agree. 5.5 for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 5.5 stamp.
Yeah. Stamp, done deal. We're being very consistent with these ratings.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're like, we love donuts. We're just gonna say everything's great.
We also can't make decisions, so like,
yeah, this is
5.5. That's it. Actually, we've got one coming up that will not be a 5.5.
I think we hit a good stride when we started.
Yeah.
And then when we started diving more into our list, we started to realize, okay, not every donut spot's going to be great. Not that they were necessarily bad. It's just they weren't like the standard taste and vibe and everything that we were looking for in donuts. So.
Right. And also some confounding factors here. It started to progress into the winter even deeper. This next spot we went to a month later. It was January 18th.
Yeah. We were still eating donuts outside.
We were. It was fucking cold. And it's like, I feel like maybe that affected some of the experience.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But also, that brings us to our next spot, which is the Dough Club.
The Dough Club.
The Dough Club. Not a bad spot, but so this place had mochi donuts, and it was my first time ever having a mochi donut.
Yeah. So I guess to paint a picture of how the donut looks, the pearls that Marge wears, the donut kind of looks like a set of pearls. And it's shaped like a donut.
Yeah.
So it's like little balls, and there's nothing in them, right?
No.
I don't believe so. It's
just
little
like
balls in a circular size, and then it has a little bit of glaze or a little bit of a flavor. So they had like a cookies and cream one.
Yeah.
They had a green tea one. They had a couple different flavors.
Yeah. Picture like a teething ring that a baby uses.
Yes.
That's exactly what I thought of. Which is like a little nostalgic, right? Gave me some comfort, but also like I got the strawberry. It was like white chocolate strawberry.
Yes.
And I was expecting, it was only like a hint of flavor, which is, it's good.
It was very, not necessarily doughy.
No.
But it was very much like you were tasting more of the bread texture of the donut as opposed to the flavor. And they didn't really mesh.
Right.
So.
And maybe that's just us being like American, wanting like sugar on everything.
Right.
But it was not as delicious as I would have liked.
Agreed.
There wasn't enough flavor there. But it was an experience.
It was.
I was also freezing. So,
yes.
Did I mention it was the middle of winter?
It wasn't raining or snowing or anything that day, right? I don't believe it was.
It wasn't. It was just very cold. Yeah, so... not my favorite. The dough was more like airy and light than other like cake donuts. So that was actually nice. I enjoyed it, but then I remember after we went to a different donut spot.
Yes, I was gonna say that. I was waiting for that to come up. I was like, it was okay, but it did not satisfy the donut craving, I guess, that we had that day.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, so what are we gonna do? Oh, Donut Pub's nearby. Let's just go back to Donut Pub.
Yeah. So that's if we didn't mention how much we like Donut Pub, there you go. We went back there after this, and also the aesthetic of this place. not it for me. It didn't really didn't do anything for me. There wasn't anything significant that I enjoyed about it. The menu was kind of small, and it was a little bit, no, the whole space was a little small. And
yeah, it was like a walk-in closet to get in there.
Yeah. And also, like, well, I guess this is most places, but you order, like, did we order, like, at the door? Like, there was nobody going inside.
I honestly don't remember because I kind of remember walking in, but maybe it was just to literally pick up the donut and leave.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And then we walked to we were like around City Hall. That's where this place is.
Yes, I remember we were nearby Pace University.
Yeah.
I think the highlight of the going to the dough club was the fact that we went to the donut pub after. I'll be 100% honest.
We'll leave you with that.
Because I remember going there, but I more so remember ending up at the dough club after.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, and I know we talked about the donut pub already, but where did we eat the donut pub donuts after we got them? Because I remember eating the dough club donuts freezing opposite, nearby City Hall, opposite of Pace University, and freezing in like one of those little like sort of bench apparatus things around a tree.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I remember freezing then, but I remember we ended up hightailing it to the donut pub, but I don't remember.
Yes. And then I think that day, so I remember actually this was one of the best experiences. Oh, I got a vanilla donut with a blue marble frosting.
Oh, yes.
Very
It looked
sexy.
like a galaxy donut or something.
It was a galaxy donut.
Okay, gotcha.
It was beautiful.
I remember this.
Definitely, yeah, that was good. And so we got it, and then we walked somewhere. I remember taking a photo of it in my hand in front of I think it was a residential building, because there was a doorman, and I was like, is he gonna kick me out?
Yes, and there was like a giant. It wasn't a Christmas tree, but it had a Christmassy vibe.
Yeah, it was like a wreath,
mm-hmm.
or something. Yeah. Where did we eat those? I don't remember.
We might have just said screw it and let's ate them on the fly as we were trying not to freeze to death.
I think we did, and we were just walking and eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, in hindsight, as opposed to sitting down in the cold, walking and eating, at least you're moving, so there is some warmth involved in the process. So.
Generating some heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good experience. The donut pub, not so much the dough club.
Agreed.
So should we rate this?
Yes, we should.
We rate donuts. Okay, dough club. What do you give dough club?
So I would say dough club, in terms of appearance, the outside looked cool. The inside was pretty non-existent, with just one dude kind of making donuts.
Yeah.
I would probably say, I don't want to be too evil, but I would probably go as low as 3.8.
Oh,
yeah. Is that bad?
I was gonna be like 3.
So we could split
3 out of 6.
Would you say? I guess 3.5 then is the middle ground.
What did you say? 3.8.
3.8 or 3.4.
3.3.
3 donuts and 3 sprinkles.
3.4 is good. We can do
Okay.
3.4. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't ever go back there.
Yeah.
I would never have the inclination to be like, yeah, let me go. Because also the donut pub is right there, so I would be like, there's no point.
Right.
There's no reason I'd ever want.
And funny enough, I think I sent you a picture of it, but one of my residents at my job, they gave me one of their donuts from the... He's like, hey, man, you want a donut? I'm like, yeah, awesome, sure. And then he shows me those. I'm like, oh...
What is this? This is not a donut.
I was so like, oh, thanks for the... I can't say no now because I've already committed to the yes of taking a donut. But it was, it was exactly what we had that time. It wasn't anything crazy. It was...
Was that the green tea one that you had?
Yes.
There?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was all right. It had a very... I mean, maybe he had gotten it earlier, but I do remember it having like a crunchiness to it as opposed to like a soft donut-y texture.
Maybe
so that could have just been... Perhaps. Maybe it's just not a vibe that we're about.
Yeah, just not a vibe that we're about.
I mean, he seemed like he liked them, even though he was giving some away to me. So...
That's fair.
Yeah. Not for us.
No, not for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think fuck the dough club. I'm just kidding.
We're going to go down there with a can of kerosene and we're going to stop them ahead of time. No, they aight.
They're good.
Aight,
All right,
but probably not a repeat offender.
No, definitely
I feel like, in all honesty, I feel like if my niece saw that spot in the city, she'd be more appealed by it, and she would probably want to try a donut from there. Mm-hmm. And that would probably be the only time I would ever go back there, just because she would like the appeal of the style of the donut and the mochi notion. So
That's fair. Yeah. And I mean, I don't have a niece, but if my sister was like, oh, this place looks awesome, I want to go here, I'd be like, really? Because there's a donut pub right next door, a couple blocks away.
That's a good point.
No, but I feel that. So yeah, we've got 5 more places to evaluate here, but we will pick that up in our next episode.
Yes, we don't want to drown you in donuts as we've drowned ourselves in donuts for the past year.
But tune in next time to find out how we got bullied
yes.
at one of our Bay Ridge spots.
Oh, man. And the donuts were okay. For such a bullying, the donuts were all right. They were decent, but they were not... We'll get into that in the next episode.
Yeah.
Coming soon to a podcast Dubfeat station near you.
Join us for the D.
Peace out.